But congratulations that Kyler Murray underthrew his receiver by about 5 yards horizontally.
Should have had four. Should have had 4 picks, but
easily. He was terrible. But that's where I want to congratulate Matt Patricia. Zero smart. I'm not, I promise you. He did exactly what we've all begged him to do and what Brian Flores did Thursday night. It's almost like Patricia talked to Flores and said, hey, fellow Patriot brethren, I noticed you helped your young corners and played more off cover and blitzed a little more and mixed in more zone on Thursday night football. Do you think that'd be a good idea for me to do? And what we saw yesterday was exactly that. They played a lot more zone. And you saw the corners, like Okuda, off cover a little more, right? Now, I know we make fun of cushion and, oh my God, it's the Terry Fair coverage. Look, no, sometimes you need to do that. And they confused Murray on a couple of things, and I credit him for that. Listen, if I'm going to rip his ass for being obstinate and being bullheaded and really square peg round hole, then I'm going to give the guy credit when he does what I ask for. And he did it yesterday.
See, Mike, I thought you were happy because he played Jesse James and threw the ball.
Well, it's odd. There are certain times cosmically you feel like they listen to the show. We mock them to no end that you pay Jesse James all this money, and through 2 weeks he hadn't had a target, and how pathetic it is that you can't work a second tight end in, and it seemed like he just happened to be a centerpiece of the game plan this week.
Right, Arizona's like, Coach, I don't even know who he is. They've never thrown him the ball. I mean, his first
Somebody
reception.
Get me a roster.
He was so wide open. Who is that? Who's that guy? James. Does he play for them still? Yeah.
But I'm being very serious. I think Patricia had one of his better games where he did the unexpected. And you could tell for a week it threw the Cardinals off. Now, look, if you play again, they're going to have counters to that stuff. It's just like Thursday night. Jacksonville had no answer for what Miami was doing because they didn't really have tape of it. I thought Patricia did a really nice job. So he deserves credit in that regard, even though I still want him fired.
No,
I just wanted to throw that out there.
No, I mean, I think that's fair. I especially laughed in the whole Jesse James, so now all of a sudden he is an integral part of this offense. Where was this for the first 2 games?
What's funny? Here, I don't care. Let's keep the streak going. 8 minutes from now, I'll tell you a guy who's mysteriously not a part of the offense.
Ow! Can you keep this going, Mike?
I don't know. I'll do as many Karshian ones until I run out of them.
He's in the middle of a no-hitter, folks.
Look out. Teasathon 2K20. Zach, 97.1.
Hey, Mike, Rico, love your show. I bounced around Michigan, for my whole life, and you guys definitely have the best show in Michigan.
Thank you,
but just to play devil's advocate, tap breaks a little bit. I understand everything you're saying. I agree with all of it. But they did actually make adjustments. They played Tracy Walker the whole game. They took.
I'm glad you noticed that, Zach. Zach, how refreshing was that to see Will Harris basically only get about 12 or 13 snaps and the best safety played? It's weird. We bitched about that the last 2 weeks. I agree with you. Yes.
And, and on offense, they had an identity. They kept Peterson in the game. They finally ran the ball 27 times. They chewed the clock, kept Murray, cold. And, they did a good job.
Zach, here's where I disagree with you. Zach, let me disagree for a minute, and I want your feedback on this. I actually didn't like that portion of it. I thought the amount of first down runs in the second half, it was almost like exclusively on first down we are going to run the ball. I think you're missing out on a major play action down there. And really, you're kind of neutering Stafford. Those are the plays where I think you can put a game away. And instead, and I can go back and we can play chart it, but I mean, it was just really another first down run? Jesus, man, give number 9 some latitude here.
Yeah, I agree. I told my wife in the fourth quarter they got to go play action on one of these first downs and go deep. They're just stacking the box.
I'm sure your missus was thrilled with.
Always is.
I'm sure she was thrilled, honey. You're right. Whatever you say. I said something different to my wife last night as the Celtics were choking this away. I looked over at her. I go, why the F am I watching this? And she just looked at me and goes,
again.
What would you like me to say?
Mike,
I know.
Mike, did she just leave you alone in the man cave and just knows, you know what, there's certain days, no matter what I hear, don't go down there.
Yes.
Don't bother him. He's okay.
Yes.
You know, unless I hear a loud crash or thud.
Yes. You are correct, sir.
Like, is there a code word? Like, if she hears Rumpelstiltskin, now come and help me out. Other than that, disregard anything you hear me saying.
What's the safety word? Pineapple. We're losing cabin pressure down there.
I just imagine that poor woman, like, just on the phone. What was that sound? That's just my husband. He's watching the Celtic. They're probably losing.
Oh, please. No, I was just exasperated. It was like rhetorical. I was asking her, like, why do I bother with this garbage anymore? She just looked at me and was like, I don't know what to tell you.
Right, like you didn't get enough from earlier today watching your Giants get steamrolled by walk-ons?
I know. But like here, hold on. So here it is, all right? Final drive, 1st and 10. Peterson, right tackle, all right? Oh, here you go. 1st and 10, same drive. Adrian Peterson, up the middle. 1st and 10 at the 50. Adrian Peterson, up the middle. 1st and 10 at the 38. Peterson, up the middle. All right, so that's the last drive to win the game. The drive before, okay, 23 all. Adrian Peterson, 1st and 10. Matt Stafford passed on 1st and 10, but that's 6 1st and 10 runs, 1 pass. 1st and 10, Peterson up the middle. That's 7 of 8. Here's the drive prior. 1st and 10, Peterson runs the ball. That's 8 of 9. You want me to keep, you know what I'm saying, Rico? This was my issue in the second. These are all the possessions in the second half. I mean, I get what you want to do, but my God. There's a 1st and 10 pass, but up, 1st and 10. Adrian Peterson, 1st and 10. Adrian Peterson, 1st and 10. Rico, this is real. I'm reading you the play chart.
Very
predictable.
No.
That was driving me up a wall. I was screaming, trust me. Spray painted a 9 on my shirt. You got to give me a 1st and 10 play pass. Come on.
Yeah, but instead, I guess they figured if we run the ball, we keep it out of Arizona's hands, we keep Kyler Murray off the field, and so that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to try to control the clock, control the ground game.
Well, listen.
It might have been best to keep Murray on the field yesterday.
It really, he just didn't look like he had broke up with his girlfriend before the game.
Why don't you give some credit to Patricia? It doesn't hurt.